You talked about, flexibility, and, certainly appointment schedule is one of those things that, on the surface might seem like a simple thing, and it might be like a one-stop shop kind of process that all shippers would do. But in reality, there's a lot of diversity in terms of how shippers may want to approach or enable, appointment scheduling. Can you kind of describe maybe some of the different options or approaches that shippers take with regards to appointment scheduling?
Yeah, absolutely. A very salient point. It's things that seem simple. We don't deliver a simple solution. This is a complicated problem, and it requires a solution that's very flexible. Advanced scheduling from UltraShip delivers customizable business rules down to the lane level. So it's not like, every DC is open from 9 to 5. It doesn't really work that way in real life. Our system accounts for things like live loads, drop trailers, even some yard management capabilities to better help drop yards and trailer pools function smoothly and effectively. Here's how it works. Beginning during implementation, the specific location hours for all pickup and drop-off locations are logged into the TMS. This drives great visibility and supports reports on important scheduling metrics like on time to appointment versus on time to the requested date is a good example of one of those. And the system will generate exception reports, send out automatic alerts for unappointed loads, for example, missed pickups. This ensures all appointments are set ahead of shipment, pickup, or delivery. It also drives compliance reporting that ensures any patterns of subpar performance are identified and addressed. But in practical use, which is, I think, more toward what you were asking, how it works is when a transportation user creates a new shipment, or when a sales rep generates a shipment using the web portal, for example, they're given access to that intuitive, easy-to-use scheduling screen with all the available location-specific pickup and drop-off times and dates. Carrier appointment scheduling also supported, and carriers accepted tenders. When the carriers accept tenders, they're given access and visibility to the same real-time availability information in the TMS so that they can arrange pickup and drop-off schedules as well. Schedule statuses are easily recognizable in the system. It shows appointment icons on the shipment detail screen. It provides icons alerting users of missing appointments and changed appointments and such, so that way there's no surprises. You don't wind up with loads showing up and not being scheduled. There are a number of different options, flavors of this that can be deployed depending on business requirements. For example, real-time carrier notification of available loading bays, hours of operation, loading times within individual bays. It gets that granular if you want it to be. Each bay can be set individually, or they can use a facility default. Again, it's all about not cookie cutter. This is, it's going to work specifically for your, business rules and the carriers that you use. Carriers can select from a list of those available appointment times that are displayed. Also, if you have regular Monday shipment, regular Wednesday shipment, you can use fixed appointment times at each carrier facility. Those set up during the deployment process, and this allows the system to automatically schedule carriers' appointments based on their regularly assigned time slot. We can set it up so that appointment times can be supplied on the order. If pickup or delivery appointments want to be set in your order management system and transmitted to UltraShipTMS along with the other order information, that can be done via EPI or API prior to even offering the load to tender to any carrier. Appointments can be scheduled offline. Carriers can even be required to log in their appointment times from their end on the system. So there's a lot of different ways to skin the cat, if you will.
Yes, I mean, it just shows really just kind of how different permutations of this is possible. I think the other important thing, I think that, and you referred to this earlier a little bit, is in many ways the appointment scheduling is kind of that glue that helps the warehouse as well, the receiving end as well, in terms of level loading their workload. I think what a lot of times what ends up happening at shippers that don't have this type of solution is, you could end up with, 5 trucks showing up at the same time.
Yeah, and even if they show up at their appointed times, you made the appointment in the system, but if the DC is running behind because they weren't, looped in, again, we talk about beyond TMS. That's sort of our, our slogan, if you will. And that's really the idea, is looking at the upstream and downstream impacts of what we do, so that, we're not operating in that bubble. What good is showing up for a 9 o'clock appointment if they can't get to your dock door till 11? It doesn't,
Right.
So that's true. The system can even produce messages to be issued to the DC management whenever a bay is scheduled or released. They can even view the entire schedule at a global view for their daily throughput sort of engineering, which is pretty cool.